These people have stolen our culture, our fashions, our creativity, and now they get to tell us what looks good? How about no ma'am? Have a seat at the back of the bus. Black gay men have made these luxury brands what they are today, only for them to show us no respect. I did not look up the family history of Prada and Gucci, but they better look up the Moors and realize that their ancestors are black. We ruled Italy from the 5th to 8th century and again in the 16th century with the birth of Alessandro de Medici. In 1510 is marked on this date. He was a black Italian ruler during the 16th century. Put some respect on our names, bitches. Balenciaga is trash for trying to sell some sagging sweatpants for $1,190. Let's not forget that hideous trash bag incident. The one that was $1,790. They shame us to only steal from us. Sagging is not really even a good thing, but I guess it's okay when they do it. Sarcasm. They are also trash for this whole teddy bear bondage ad. You can research on your own to find out why. I would not spend my money with any company that upholds racism and pedophilia. Balenciaga is not even worth me researching because I don't care about people who indoctrinate children. What boggles my mind is how can Chanel be so expensive when Gabrielle Bonahura, Chanel's mama, was a simple laundry woman in a charity hospital. Her father was a itinerant street vendor who peddled work clothes and undergarments, living a nomadic life, traveling to and from market towns. The family resided in rundown lodgings. Chanel was even said to be born in a poorhouse hospice. I found this out through simple research on Wikipedia, searching Coco Chanel. All of the sources are there as well. Now, I mean no disrespect, but $800 for a simple purse is too much money. I don't care if I hit for millions. I still would not buy this stuff, and I can't wait to show people. You would think that coming from humble beginnings, these people would not charge so much for materials, but people are greedy at times. Louis Vuitton might have started out French, but is now headed by a Jewish man named Bernard Arnault, who is chairman and CEO of LVMH, Moet Hennessy, Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton on monogram was created in 1896, but the little cross part can be seen on a Kweli tribal mask. Also, things like their damier Ebene, created in 1888, looks a lot like the Kuba chief's attire, Kuba Kingdom in Congo, Africa, who reside in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It also looks like the Fubam from Cameroon tribe's pattern for one of his blankets or attire. In 2012, they were inspired by the Maasai tribe red and blue shuka, and then in 2014 they came out with tribal purses. Culture vultures at their finest because these tribes predate Louis Vuitton. Versace's Greca print looks a lot like the Kuba Kingdom's patterns as well. The Kuba Kingdom in Congo, Africa predates Versace as well. So more culture vultures for table number 9, where Versace is sitting, please. I don't care about labels, can you tell? Versace is Italian, but they got into bed with the Jewish elite as well. In 2014, it was reported that a company named Blackstone bought 20% of the Versace company. Now, through my research, I found 2 names for the people that head the U.S. private equity firm called Blackstone, named Joe Baratta and Stephen A. Schwartzman. Now, I know that Stephen A. Schwartzman is Jewish, but I could not find any information on Joe's family history. I would not doubt that Joe's family stems back to Jewish people as well, because they all mostly do business with each other. When they come to America, they try to keep the info of their family history of them being Jewish a secret, because then everyone would know that they own everything. I already told you this in the Jehovah's Witness section of the book, with their leader changing his family's last name. To prove my point, I want to bring your attention to a company named National Amusement Incorporated. The company was founded by Michael Redstone. Think about that Blackstone. This is what is said about him on Wikipedia. Redstone was born on April 11th, 1902 in Boston, Massachusetts. Born Max Rothstein. He changed the family name to Redstone to avoid association with the Jewish gambling boss Arnold Rothstein. End quote. See, they tell us that they changed their last name to avoid association with Jewish gambling boss Arnold Rothstein. That is not the real reason why they changed their name. It's to keep us from knowing who controls everything. National Amusements Inc. owns Viacom. Viacom owns CBS, Comedy Central, BET, Showtime Networks, Nickelodeon, MTV, and the film studio Paramount Pictures. Warner Brothers, another Jewish founded company. This is what Wikipedia had to say about Jack L. Warner, whose real name was Jacob. Jacob Warner, as he was named at birth, was born in London, Ontario, Canada, on August 2nd, 1892. His parents were Polish Jewish immigrants from Congress, Poland, then part of the Russian Empire, who mainly spoke Yiddish. This proves how these are not the original people of the Bible. Most of them come from Poland, Germany, and Russia. These are not the slaves that came from Egypt and marched into Israel. I've already proved this earlier in the book. Now you go back and look at some of the picture memes in this book. This is why when you do your research on these companies, they have parent companies, subsidiary companies, but it's all a bunch of crap to keep people from researching and finding out that the Jewish owns mostly everything. Kanye already exposed this, even though his ass is back trying to apologize because he's trying to get something. I don't know, some new shoes or whatever, but his ass is back simping, kissing their ass. I seen a video of him reading off all the Jewish owners. It's like this in professional sports too. The last two NBA Illuminati commissioners were Jewish. I'm sure by now that you are getting my point about me not spending any money with these thieves. This racism in fashion has trickled down to the less expensive brands because of their cheap materials that they use. I would never wear brands like H&M with their ugly ass hoodie that said coolest monkey in the jungle, but had the nerve to put a little black boy in the hoodie. Gap with this ad in 2016, and let's not forget good old Abercrombie and Fitch. They are slick with their racism, exclusion. I wonder, was the $40 million that they had to pay out worth all the exclusion? Now, I'm not trying to tell anyone how to spend their money, but I'm speaking for me because I know what I know and have done the research. I am not, nor have I ever been the keep up with the Jones type. I have my own style, and speaking of style, I don't wear lip gloss, lipstick, I don't paint my fingernails or toenails, I don't rock purses or fanny packs, and I don't wear heels. I do believe there's an agenda being pushed by some of these celebrity men that are supposed to be hardcore macho dudes, but they carry purses. Now, to each his own, but that has never been my thing, and I have never been attracted to that type of guy either. I believe clothes should not make the person pop, it should be the other way around. So, I purposely wear one label and one label only, Guess, as far as my clothing. Now, before you go jumping down my throat, I am aware that Guess was accused of stealing a handbag designed from black-owned label named Telfar. First of all, the purse was designed by some third-party company named Signal Brands. Signal Brands collectively manage an exceptional portfolio of globally renowned brands licensed for use with handbags, small leather goods, luggage, and travel accessories. They collaborate with Guess sometimes, so it was not a Guess original design. Second, I've seen a Coach tote bag, a Michael Square bag, and some label called Wise, similar to that Telfar bag. Third, Guess halted the sale of the purse immediately. You know I'm going to stand up for my Guess. But seriously, all you will find in my closet, clothing-wise, is Guess. I keep it simple, but baby, I know that I shine. I make simple and basic look good. People try to be over the top today, while I'm just trying to stay in my lane. As far as shoes, like I said, I've never owned a pair of Jordans, but I prefer Creative Recreation, Supra, Nike, Aldo, and Timberland boots. I've said this before, I'm not trying to tell anyone how to spend their money, but even when I come into millions, my style won't change. I know that I will not be participating in spending money, I know that I will not be participating in spending my money with people who have stolen my people's culture, only to turn around and sell it back to us at a way more expensive price. I remember recently in 2022, I was back home in Toledo and I decided to meet up with some dude that had been liking me. I don't know how we started talking about clothes, but he started showing me his shopping carts for Louis Vuitton. Dude had like $9,000 worth of Louis Vuitton in his cart that he was about to purchase, and I guess he thought that would impress me. It was actually a turnoff because I thought it was a waste of money. He could afford it with him being an RN, but no thank you. Like I said, if I ever came into millions, I still would not splurge like that, but that is just me. I do think it's wrong how some gays shame each other over these labels. I hate suits and ties because we had to wear them every Sunday for church, so when I turned 18, it was bye-bye suits and ties. I love shopping, I love malls, outlets, and food courts, and I highly believe in retail therapy. I remember being the only cousin that stayed up during the daytime to watch The Bold and Beautiful with my grandmother, my Grandma B. That was our thing. We watched her stories, as most black grandmothers and moms will call the daytime soap operas that came on TV. If you did not watch Stories with Your Granny, you missed out. I remember As the World Turns and that damn Victor Newman from The Young and the Restless, who I think created a manual for all male Taurus and Pisces zodiac signs. Victor was a Pisces. I always compare my childhood to a boy version of Matilda or Kevin McAllister from Home Alone. I was a very intelligent child. I remember my Grandma B said one time she was talking to my mom about me, and they were both sitting near me to where I could hear them. My grandma said she told my mom that she thought that my mom needed to have me checked out, but she spelled checked out. I don't know why she said that, but she said I turned around and said to her, I don't know why you spelling because I know what you're saying. My Uncle Will always called me a whiz kid. I remember being a little boy in church with all the other kids. After Sunday school, we would go to the main service. We would sit in circles and have to answer questions about the Bible, stuff we learned in Sunday school. I was a kid that knew all the answers plus more. I was not bad, I just had a smart, sarcastic mouth. When I was a young boy, I attended St. Martin de Porres Catholic school up until the 2nd grade. This kind of caused some confusion because at school, we were made to say all these prayers to Mary, which was different than what we did in church on Sunday. I would always ask the nuns why they prayed to Mary instead of Jesus, why they wore the same clothes all the time, and why they wore black in one season and gray in the other. I love Sister Act 1 and 2, by the way. Sister Mary Kemp, she would get mad as hell at me. Face all red. Man, I had that lady turned because I asked her, why did she only have 2 outfits? I got scolded one time because I asked her, did she have a man? She was pissed. When I was in Catholic school, we had this program called Hooked on Phonics. And to me, in my opinion, this program was the bomb.com for real. I will promote this program until this very day. Now what's crazy is that when I entered into public schools, the kids made fun of Hooked on Phonics, but I was in the 3rd grade reading on a 6th grade level. I almost got kicked out of Catholic school. A nun hit me and I hit her back. But by that time, I had asked my dad to go to public school anyway because I would always hear him complain about the cost of me going to Catholic school. I will say this, I am glad I went to Catholic school to get a good head start on reading and comprehension. I feel if I had gone to public school, I don't think I would be as strong as I am in reading comprehension and writing. We had these tests in public school called the proficiency test. This is where I remember seeing my reading and writing scores. As for math, I've always been average. We lived down the street from the public school that I attended, just a few blocks actually. The school was named Ella P. Stewart. Today I believe the school is an all-girl academy, and the house that used to be on the right corner of Belmont and Elizabeth behind the school, if you were coming from the school, that was my Aunt Queen's house. She threw a great 70s party there one time. I remember my dad waking us up at 6 a.m. blasting the mighty clouds of noise. Oops, I mean joy. I shouldn't take my anger out on them. It's not their fault what we had to endure. I will say today that I am thankful for him doing that because now that I am an adult, I can't just sleep in all day. One of the biggest things that will irritate me with some of my past partners is how they will sleep all day in bed. Absolutely no drive to get up and do anything productive. I get it. I have been depressed to the point where I didn't want to get out of bed, but I did get up out of bed because I had to. I'm not looking for handouts. Definitely don't need anyone to take care of me but the Most High. The ones that did this, it wouldn't last too long because I am not into hobosexuals. A homosexual is a homeless person who has a plan to come visit and have sex with you in order to stay and live with you. They do this by starting a relationship with you. I don't know why people don't think I be seeing their little schemes against me, but I do. Anyway, I had a friend by the name of Robin that I used to walk to school with. She is no longer here. Rest in peace. I remember going to the corner store called Yummies to buy candy and chips to sell at school, but I got in trouble because I was making a lot of money on the low. And I would give some away too in honor of my grandfather. They, the school administration, were just jealous of my authority, my Cartman voice. You know, teachers don't make what they are worth. Some are really genuine, and it's a shame what they have to endure. What a shame in this country. How is it that these professional athletes make millions and billions, but our teachers, doctors, farmers, school bus drivers, and truckers make pennies? This is absurd. This is why America is falling apart, and the people in politics know this. They are nothing but a distraction. But it has to be this way in order to free Judah, so Judah can awaken the rest of his brothers. I get it. I remember our principal, whom I really did look up to because she was a strong, black, beautiful woman. Her name was Elois Carey. I never knew what happened to Miss Carey, but I want to thank her. There was a hall monitor named Gwendolyn Jones. Thank you, Miss Jones, for always showing me love. Miss Jones watched me grow from a boy into who I am today. She always hugged me and showed me love. I remember Miss Edwards, another black, beautiful woman, was one of my 3rd grade teachers. She was great, but she would get frustrated with me sometimes because I would daydream a lot in her class. Now, 4th grade, I knew I was the man with the plan. I became a crossing guard in the 4th grade under Mr. Jones. Baby, I was ready to tell on anybody, and I did. Hello, now look. That's me as a crossing guard. I know you thought I was playing, but I'm not. I was popular in elementary school. Well, I did give away my brother's basketball cards, and I sold candy. Oh yeah, I did have the school thinking that Randy Macho Man Savage was one of my uncles. Speaking of wrestling, I did get into a few fights with mostly girls, but there was a few dudes too because these hands do not discriminate. Some of the girls liked me, but I didn't like them back, which resulted in them getting mad and hitting me. I always thought of girls as friends. I really didn't understand how to handle them coming at me in that way. Plus, my sister was fighting me every chance she got, and when I was younger, my first two fights was with girls that I did not fight back. One girl busted my nose and the other kicked my ass too. I did not fight back because I was told by my mom not to hit girls. But guess what? After that girl made my nose bleed because I didn't fight her back, my mom was pissed. She said, if anyone hits you, you better knock the hell out of them. And from that point on, I never had any more problems at school. And these two girls, I did nothing to them. The one girl said I did something to her dog, but later on we found out she didn't even have a damn dog. The other girl was a girl from the projects named Jamila. And from the way she looked, baby, who knows what was going on with that little girl. She was weird. Keep in mind, I'm talking about being in elementary school. This was like 3rd or 4th grade. Always talking about hurting someone. I guess her target that day was me. I do remember as a child thinking, I'm glad I will never have to deal with their women abuse when I get older. I never put up with abuse from dudes either. I have seen both sides of abuse. And I will say, when it is a woman doing it to a man, it's not taken as serious as if it was a man abusing a woman. Now, if he hits her in the mouth with his fist, then that's when everyone is ready to jump in, which is wrong. Abuse needs to be taken more serious no matter who it is, gender or race. Woman, if you hit a man first, you need to be ready for whatever comes after that. I'm saying this to women because I have seen how a woman will purposely start stuff with a man just to get her male family members involved. It's really a lose-lose situation because the men are the ones who end up suffering all over some bullshit. One man might get hurt or even die, which will leave the other man in trouble. Anyway, those were my elementary years.